We about to get into something good here. Oh, I am so excited for the love of money, a new series on the Move to Millions podcast. So grab your pen, grab your paper, and anchor in for a conversation that is sure to shift the way you see yourself, the way you see money, and the way you see building wealth. Welcome back to the Move to Millions podcast. It's your girl, Dr. Darnyelle, God Girl, 8-figure entrepreneur, and the award-winning CEO of Incredible One Enterprises, the business transformation company that is known for transforming the soul and strategy of 6-figure service-based entrepreneurs so that they become 7-figure CEOs. I am so excited that you are here with me, and I'm equally excited about what we're going to get into today. Y'all, I love talking about money. I think you know that, right? Now, if this is your very first time tuning in, I want to say welcome home because we both know that it will not be your last. I am here to offer you so many powerful insights that your head just spins and spins and spins. And as soon as you realize that this is your new home for all things business and wealth and money, I want you to make sure you go and rate and review this episode because it will help others find us. Now, my goal is simple here. I am here to eradicate small business poverty and to get more CEOs making millions so that they can leave a financial legacy. Go ahead and pass down them recipes, but we know that we want to give them something that they can fold as well. All right. This is the kickoff to a brand new series for the love of money, not the fear of money, not shame around money, but the sacred, sovereign, committed relationship that you are called to have with money. Yes, I said it, rooted in love, rooted in stewardship, and absolutely rooted in abundance. You know that's your birthright. You know that's what God sent you here to experience. Now, if you have been scaling your business, but you are still really stuck and struggling with your financial identity, this series is for you. This series is a precursor to a brand new workshop that I am leading called the 7-Figure Shift. So be on the lookout and get yourself registered. Here's what we know. You cannot build wealth from woundedness, and you cannot heal what you have hidden. So in this episode, we are going to talk about the one thing that no spreadsheet, no sales script, or no strategy can fix: unhealed financial trauma. Now, I get it. Trauma is a buzzword on the internet. We know that, but it is also a very real thing. So the first thing I want to do is I want to define for you what I mean when I say financial trauma. Okay? Financial trauma is the deep emotional wound that you are experiencing as it pertains to money. And it is rooted in one of a few things: scarcity, shame, survival, or fear. Now, it often shows up subtly in your pricing and how you hire, where you overspend, when you're under earning, the fear of being wealthy, the fear of making sales, and decision-making avoidance. Here's what we know. Every single day, we're all confronted with decisions that we have to make about money. And most of us are experiencing trauma. Now, let's be clear. Financial trauma is not about being broke. It's about how your nervous system is responding to the money, to receiving more money, to managing money, to trusting money. Trauma actually informs your beliefs, and your beliefs are going to show up in your life experience as behaviors. Okay? Now, I want you to understand, when you came into the world, when you were pulled out or pushed out, there was no money shame. So you know what that means, right? It means you were taught money shame, and you've been building from the shame that you were taught ever since. If you avoid money, then money will avoid you. Money is like any person, because it's an energy that is always available to you. And the way that you respond to that energy is going to determine how it responds to you. Now, according to a 2022 Capital One and the Decision Lab study, 77% of Americans report feeling anxious about their finances. And nearly 50% of founders say that their biggest fear isn't failure, it's financial exposure. That's according to QuickBooks, a 2021 report. Now, here's what we know, right? Is that is the truth, and many of us experience that. I'll never forget one of my early sales calls. I was maybe a year, 2, 3 years tops into the business, and I had a woman on the phone who I knew like I knew my name, that she needed what I offered. She was excited, she was engaged, and the whole time my heart was pounding out of my chest because deep down on the inside of me, I didn't believe that she would actually pay for what my services were worth. I'm sure you've been there. I'm sure you've done that. I'm sure you've got a t-shirt. So instead of standing in my value, I panicked. I threw in everything in the kitchen sink: private coaching, VIP support, access to other programs. Basically, everything that I had, I put in this offer, and then I priced it at pennies on the dollar. Oh, just thinking about it, y'all, makes me cringe. And I did all of that because I needed a win, which means I needed a yes. And she said yes, because what person wouldn't? I mean, if you could have seen this offer, now these were the early years, y'all. I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know it was money trauma that was causing all of this. And here's the thing. She said yes. And at the moment that I hung up the phone, I could already feel the resentment creeping in. Not at her, but at myself. Because I had portrayed my own boundary to feel safe in that moment, making a money decision that wasn't going to serve me. That wasn't strategy. That was financial fear disguised as being of service. How many times have you done the same thing? And what I didn't realize at the time was that my body, the part of me that still didn't feel safe being seen fully, being valued fully, had just made the sale, not the CEO that I am. And I'm going to tell y'all, it took me years, capital YEARS, to understand that moment wasn't about the money at all. It was about worthiness. It was about the little girl who still believed that she had to prove that she was enough just to have been chosen. And if that is you, hear me when I say the invitation is your validation. The moment they get on the call with you, you are already validated. You don't have anything you have to prove. Now, I know I'm making it sound easy right now. Trust me, I get it. That's what I mean when I say you can't build wealth from woundedness. Because until you heal those roots, you'll keep making powerful decisions from a place of powerlessness. Ugh, that's not what I want for you. That's not what I wanted for me. That's not what I want for anybody. It's a big part of the reason that I have massively shifted how I am working with clients and what the work that we're doing inside of our House of Millions programs, because I understand the significance of the way you see money being about the way you see yourself, and that financial trauma and money trauma is really just about what you haven't yet healed. Now, here's what we're going to get into. Some of the signs that you are experiencing financial trauma. You downplay your financial goals. If you're afraid of your services being too much, so you'll begin to settle for what you believe is enough by projecting the pockets of the people that you say you want to serve. You'll sabotage your financial momentum by overspending after a big win, or a client ghosts you after a big launch. Like, you will get out and spend. That's a way that you are demonstrating financial trauma. If you avoid tracking your money, what you focus on expands. So if you instead don't want to know your numbers because knowing them makes you feel like you are not worthy enough, that's a whole problem in and of itself. You're a business owner. And trust me, I'm not judging. I'm just stating what I know to be the facts. Another sign is that you underprice and or you overgive. Your pricing is set by guilt or fear, not alignment and value. Oh, one of my favorites. You spiritualize lack. You call it being humble or waiting on God, but really you're just afraid to fully receive what you should be receiving based on the work that you do and the value that you add into the lives of those that you've been called to. I want you to just really sit with this. Money does not respond to your prayers. It responds to your patterns. And your patterns are being shaped by your financial trauma and pain. A few years ago, I was having dinner with a colleague, someone with a brilliant business, someone revered in the marketplace. She had a signature offer that got incredible results, like incredible. Her audience loved her. And from the outside looking in, it looked like she was killing it. Like her business was the business to desire, right? But she was not able to scale. Every launch she held was stressful. Every new team member felt like a threat. She lived in the space of fear and scarcity. And despite all of the momentum she had, because she had an amazing offer, her revenue would spike and then she would stall. Like she would literally have a 6-figure launch and then a couple months later reach out to me and ask me if I could loan her $10,000 for the month because her cash flow is off. We got to talking one night and I literally just asked her, what would happen if your business really took off, like you 10x'd overnight? She got sullen, like really, really quiet. And then she said, I don't even know if I could handle it. And just like that, I saw it. As I'm working on the curriculum for my new program, Sanctuary, that's coming out later this year, a lot of these memories have been flooding in, and this was one of them. It wasn't her strategy that was the culprit. It was her story. She had grown up watching money disappear. Like there was just never enough, watching people lose it as fast as they made it. So she built a business that made just enough to feel successful, but not enough to actually make her feel safe. She felt extremely unsafe, and the thought of having more money made her feel so much more unsafe. That, my friends, is financial trauma. And it doesn't matter how smart you are. If your nervous system still equates abundance with danger, you will always sabotage your next level, no matter how good your offer is, no matter how many stages you're being invited to, no matter how many people are on your waiting list. Now, if this has stirred something in you, you're not alone. This is why I created my 7-figure shift workshop that I'm going to be launching really, really soon. I'll put the link in the show notes for you to go and grab your seat. We all know too many CEOs who are building from burnout and not belief, and it has got to stop. So you need to join me for the 7-figure shift workshop. This is the game changer you didn't even know you need, because every single day you're faced with money decisions, and your inability to make these money decisions is impacting your ability to take your business to the next level. Because here's what we know. Your financial ceiling isn't your income, it's your unhealed roots. Now, you have to remember that money amplifies what you haven't healed. That's what money is, right? People say money is going to change you. No, money is going to reveal who you really are and what you haven't healed in your life experience. You may be chasing 7 figures, but if your nervous system still believes that money equals danger and anxiety and overwhelm, you are going to sabotage every single move you attempt to make. The issue isn't whether or not you can make more money. You know how to do that. You're a business owner. It's whether you can actually hold it. I was having a conversation literally just last week with a woman who cannot keep money to save her life. Her words, not mine. She said, I cannot keep money to save my life. And I said, you have financial trauma around money. Here's what we know. Overflow doesn't start with income. It starts with identity. And if your nervous system thinks that success equals stress, it will shut down abundance before it has a chance to get comfortable. Y'all, this is just the beginning of the For the Love of Money series. In the next episode, we're going to unpack what those roots really look like. And we're going to go all the way back to the beginning, to the moments, the messages, and the memories that shape the way you have set up your money beliefs. And then we'll start to have a conversation about how you can begin to rewire your financial identity. All of this is a precursor to my 7-figure shift workshop and us opening enrollment into my brand new program, Sanctuary. I'll tell you more about that later, but I promise you, if there is tension in your body whenever you make a money decision, which is every day. I mean, if you want to take a shower, that's a money decision, right? If you want to turn on the lights in your house, if you want to jump in your car, you have to make a money decision. And if you do not feel safe and secure making those decisions, then you need to be at the 7-figure shift and you need to consider joining us in Sanctuary, because I am finally erecting the safe space that you need that allows you to see money as safety so that you can release the shame and scarcity that has been passed down to you and actually open yourself up to overflow, not just financially, but in all the ways and absolutely spiritually. Because here's what I believe that you are worthy of wealth. And I believe that you are a steward of abundance. And that if you are going to take your rightful place as a legacy-led CEO, you have got to shift the way you see money. The reason this series is called For the Love of Money is because of the scripture, 1 Timothy 6:10. Because you were taught somewhere along the way that it is the root of all evil. And as a result of that, you made decisions that challenge the way you make and show up around money. That's not what God designed you for, and I'm not going to let that be the case. So I want you to get ready for this powerful series, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care. You weren't born with money trauma, but you do have the power to heal it. And when you do, your business becomes a sanctuary for overflow. That's so good. That's so good.